Hello and welcome to my series on meditation. My goal in this series is to create a bunch of beginner-friendly meditations that deal with the issues that many people have when they first come to meditation. One of the big ones they have is frustration from a misconception about meditation. They have heard that the whole point of meditation is the complete stoppage of thoughts, that to do it right, you sit there and have nothing on your brain, just a vast, serene, enlightened emptiness. First off, that's a little impossible. Just like our lungs and our hearts, we can't turn off our brains. Even when we sleep, our lungs and heart keep working, and so does our brain. That's why we dream. So the first thing we might want to reframe is that the goal isn't about stopping thoughts from happening. It is about stopping chasing the thoughts. Sakyong Mipham, in Turning the Mind into an Ally, states that we, especially in the West, are very good at discursive thought, following a thought from one to another, chasing it down a rabbit hole. We're less good at holding that thought in awareness and not chasing it, just holding it in our minds. It is a lot of mental work. It's a mental work that we are a little unfamiliar with, so it's going to take a little bit of practice to get good at. Now, we can see that thoughts are not the enemy of meditation. In fact, you should secretly rejoice when a thought pops up in your meditation because it's something to work with. You are doing meditation when you are using your awareness. Thoughts are not obstacles to meditation. They are opportunities to do the work of awareness. Think of it this way. Playing catch is very boring if no one's throwing you any balls. A note about posture. We do want the spine to be as stacked as possible. While many meditators insist that you be sitting upright, I do not, especially if you're first beginning and your back muscles might not be used to it. If you want to be lying down, lie down. If you're worried you might fall asleep, generally you can put your feet flat on the ground, knees up, in what in yoga is often called active recovery pose. Or you might try reclined cobbler's pose or whatever pose gets you comfortable. The goal is to have your spine long, giving your lungs ample space for the breath. The key point is that you want to be comfortable, and I mean that physically and mentally. We might notice, especially if we're starting out, that the position that felt supremely comfortable at the start of our meditation becomes painful, almost unbearable. Perhaps you suddenly notice a tingling in your fingertips, or a pain in your hip, or your toes getting cold. If you notice something that is quite uncomfortable to the point where it is taking up your whole awareness, by all means address it. Those tingling fingers might be a nerve entrapment. Let's not make that worse. That sore hip needs love. So what if you lose 30 seconds of sitting time just this once to go and get up and get a yoga block to sit on or a blanket to cover your feet? We are building a practice here. That means learning our bodies and honoring their needs, especially because we in the West tend to lean into extremes already. Let's practice not doing that here. This doesn't mean, of course, becoming a wiggle worm. You will rely on yourself to decide when something is just uncomfortable and when it is distracting. Perhaps you will want to sit through the discomfort to see what happens. That's a fine meditation practice. Perhaps, though, you today on your cushion aren't up for that. Self-consideration and that level of self-knowledge is also a fine virtue to cultivate. If you go to a meditation retreat, you might be ordered to power through that pain. I, however, am giving you permission in your meditation time with me to move if you are distracted by physical sensation. Some meditations you might find you shift around a lot, others not even once. What matters is that you're showing up. This goes for mental pain as well. If a thought comes that refuses to let go, open your eyes. Maybe move your position as well. You are under no obligation to grit your teeth and let bad memories or emotions pummel you. I speak here from a trauma-informed perspective, which may be different from the classical teachings, but again, my goal is to make meditation welcoming to you. So there is merit, yes, sometimes in powering through that mental struggle. It is really empowering to sit through a very difficult meditation and realize that at the end of it, you survived and it didn't take you down. Sometimes, though, there is more merit in showing love and self-care and stepping back. You should honor your commitment to time. If you have resolved to sit for 15 minutes, sit for 15 minutes. Do not let those drive you from your cushion. But you can always let go, move around, settle in to finish out your time. You might find concentrating on a pranayama practice or a mantra to help you get through the time. But I would suggest you do keep on your cushion until the time is up. That will be enough for you. So with these guidelines, let's get on to the next video, the next audio, to the heart of this meditation.